Greetings, Derek DeBrosse from Munitions Group, munitionsgroup.com. Look us up there. As always, we appreciate everybody's comments, support. Please tell your friends about us. We're trying to get this channel to go a little bit broader. As we continue to grow our offices, we now have offices, of course, in Columbus, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, and Atlanta, Georgia, with affiliate attorneys and expert consultants around the country. Anything involving firearms, the sporting goods industry, please look us up again, munitionsgroup.com. Today's question comes from a gentleman who writes about car carry. Now, I've addressed car carry on this channel multiple occasions in the past. I even have one where I actually show you guys, the viewers, my vehicle and how the guns are carried in there. I did a number of years back. But I think this question is a good one that has some nuances that maybe I can further develop for you. And he writes, I watched your video on carrying a firearm in the car and have some additional questions. I do have my concealed handgun license. He terms a concealed carry license. So again, I'm going to talk to you from the federal standpoint as well as the Ohio standpoint, where I am personally licensed. Each state is different, so keep that in mind. If I have a firearm loaded and locked in a locked safe under the driver's seat, is that okay if my wife, who does not have her concealed carry license, is driving the car, or would it need to be completely out of reach? So federal law really doesn't have any bearing on this, other than it's got to be unloaded for what we call the safe passage law to apply. Federal law basically lays a basement floor on how guns can be transported in interstate commerce within your motor vehicle, of which states cannot become more restrictive of. But even if you are complying with that federal law, the states treat that law a little bit differently. They treat it as sometimes an affirmative defense or a bar to prosecution. And there's story after story where, even though this law exists, the state judges don't understand it and don't allow it to be implemented. There's a case, I believe the gentleman's name is Brian Aiken, that's on point. You can look that up. The state law is more pertinent, and at least under Ohio law, there would be an issue with this. It would probably be a charge of improperly carrying a firearm in a motor vehicle. If you're carrying a firearm of any type in Ohio in your motor vehicle and you are not licensed, such as your wife, to have a concealed handgun, if that firearm is loaded, it's a crime. It has to be unloaded. So in this scenario, it would obviously be a problem. It needs to be carried in one of the fundamental ways I've gone over in the past, by first starting with it being unloaded, and then in some sort of locked baggage, or not locked, but some sort of box baggage or case, to which, again, the ammunition is in a complete and separate enclosure. And that doesn't exist in your hypothetical that you've written to me. And then the second part of the question is what if I have it locked up under the driver's seat, not on my person, and I have a beer at dinner? Again, the law there doesn't specify if you're under the influence of alcohol and you're transporting a firearm, it becomes a real problem. And as I've said it repeated times over and over again, if you want to avoid that felony, there's no requirement for you to drink alcohol ever. Again, no one's going to convince me that this is a good idea. If there's a gun in the car, you should not have a beer at dinner, period. That avoids the problem completely, and we don't need to worry about it. So again, I thank you for your questions. Keep them coming. Please drop comments in the section below. Email me, call me, anything you guys need. I will try to get to the questions as much as I can, as often as I can. As always, be safe and carry on.